Okay, so let's raise the question. What are the hits and misses of Modi 3.0? Will the Modi government push simply the BJP's core agenda even now? What is the Modi government's biggest challenge going ahead? Just some of the questions we will raise. Yogendra Yadav is a co-founder Swaraj India. He's been a critic of this government. Rajat Sethi, political commentator, has been a supporter of the Modi government. Shama Mohammed, national spokesperson, Congress. Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. I'm going to come to the politicians later, if I may, because I think we know where they stand. But I'm going to ask Rajat Sethi and Yogendra Yadav a simple question. Rajat Sethi, what, according to you, is the biggest achievement of Mr. Modi in his third term, and what's the biggest failing?
Well, Rajdeep, if you go by basic lessons of leadership, a leader is somebody who raises the chin and, gives a larger horizon to the people to look at, aspire for something bigger, try and aim, set your objectives and your goals such a way that you can all collectively get together behind a common mission. And I think that is the job of the leader. I mean, you can't expect him that he's the single one who is going to ensure that all roads are built or all, investment is brought. He has to lay out the framework. He has to ensure that people's might, the might of 150 crore Indians, is put all in one direction. And I think this is what he's been able to achieve. He has brought in a degree of mission orientedness to multiple of his objectives. Today, we are talking about defense. Look at the clarion call that Prime Minister has given and the kind of translation it has gone into people who used to code. Today, code is meeting steel. And, drone capacities to air defense capacities are now all homegrown. This vision that we can also achieve and make all of these equipments that are fundamental to our security concerns and security calculus was just not available with us. That framework, that frame of thinking wasn't available. And this is what
that's the hit. What's the miss? What's the miss?
Personally, if you ask me, what I feel is that where his greater control would have been in terms of bringing in administrative reforms.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we froze. Yeah, go ahead.
What I feel is that what is holding India back still today is the old Stone Age bureaucratic structures. And I think Prime Minister Modi should have done far more to bring in administrative reforms, to allow more domain-specific experts to come into the system, not fall prey to what Rahul Gandhi says around
Okay, I've heard Rajat Sethi. We're having some problem with the audio, Rajat, but you made the point administrative reforms needed to be speeded up is a miss. Hit is, you believe, an element of decisive, cohesive leadership provided. Yogendra Yadav, what's the biggest hit of Modi 3.0? The biggest miss, according to you?
Rajdeep, I agree with Rajat that something like this, an occasion like this, 11 years, is an unprecedented period, not just for India, by global standards. We should look at the big picture. All other minor little details, a few points of government achievements, these are things that anyone can mobilize. If you ask me, biggest hit of Mr. Modi of the last 1 year was electoral political. His ability to come out of that very serious setback of 2024, where after he was leading a government without Iqbal. But in Haryana, in Maharashtra, there are lots of questions to be answered. But purely in terms of political achievement, he's managed to bring back his government, the Iqbal that it lost during the 2024 elections, in terms of administrative capacity, in terms of having a government that can take decisions. In terms of misses, I really think it's a story of misses, because a government, looking at the big picture of a leadership, it is seen in terms of material and moral advancement of the country. In terms of material advancement, I think it's only fair to say that our economy isn't doing well. I don't want to get into specific GDP figures, this or that. But basically, economy, as far as it concerns ordinary people, is stuck very badly. Livelihood conditions are bad. Unemployment is unmanageable. And there doesn't appear to be any overall vision, any overall plans to overcome it. As for moral, I think it's only fair to say that Mr. Modi belongs to that category to which Donald Trump, earlier Boris Johnson belonged. These are people, Rajat said, leaders who keep your chin up. I think those who keep their, everyone's chin up are leaders who are tall, morally tall, who are seen to be truthful. Boris Johnson was not, Donald Trump is not, and Narendra Modi is not. A leader who can peddle a lie during the address to the nation on the ceasefire question. Remember, he said Pakistan की तरफ से कहा गया कि हम आगे से कभी आतंकवादी और सैन्य अतिक्रमण नहीं करेंगे. फिर हमने विचार किया. I mean, this is the greatest lie spoken by any Prime Minister of India. So, in terms of moral advancement, it's moral regress. When people see their leaders speaking lies, then it reduces them, and let us not forget moral decline in terms of sheer divisiveness, whether it's Kashmir, whether it's Manipur, or the eternal Hindu-Muslim question. We have seen divisiveness increase. So to my mind, finally, the third term is a term characterized by tiredness. Earlier, he had jumlas, he had plans, he had new announcements. Now he just looks tired, someone who has no new idea left to himself.
Okay, I've heard both of you. I'm going to come to the politicians in a moment. I know Sanju Verma is very keen to dive in. Sanju ji, just a minute. I'm just putting a graphic to show what I see as Modi 3.0, our team saw as report card pluses. A, the BJP is definitely politically stronger. One major state election, Yogendra Yadav also concedes that. Economy is still holding firm despite global headwinds. The latest numbers, GDP numbers, came at 6.5 for the entire financial year, 7.4 for the last quarter. This despite global headwinds. Now, infrastructure projects remain on track. The fact is, whether it's road building, whether it's other infrastructure-related projects, the Modi government has speeded up many of these projects. On Operation Sindoor, the government has established a new template for the fight against terror. And Prime Minister Modi's leadership remains stable and unchallenged, a point that Rajat Sethi also alluded to. Now, on the weaknesses, the minuses, charges of cronyism and misuse of institutions like Enforcement Directorate haunts the Modi government. The economic growth has been uneven. Manufacturing still remains a major concern. Center-state relations remain fraught. Manipur unrest still hasn't been controlled. We've got reports even now of sporadic violence taking place in that state. And the Prime Minister hasn't addressed an open press conference even once in 11 years. Forget about the last one. Sanju Verma, you've heard the hits and misses. You've heard what Yogendra Yadav and Rajat Sethi said. You tell me, what according to you is the biggest hit and the biggest miss of the Modi government?
Rajdeep, first and foremost, let me give you the hits. There is not just one single hit, but there are many hits. And the hits are these: 44 lakh crore transferred to the poor and needy via the direct benefit transfer scheme. 10 crore women today don't have to, enter a kitchen filled with smoke thanks to PM Ujjwala Yojana, which has led to smokeless kitchens. You have more than 4 crore houses given to the poor and needy via Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. You have 16,000 Jan Aushadhi Kendras where the poor and needy get medicines at a discount of anywhere between 75 to 90%. You have 50 crore people who have been covered under the Ayushman Bharat scheme, the world's largest health insurance scheme. You have 43 crore applications being processed under the Mudra Yojana with 68% beneficiaries being women. It's the world's largest self-employment scheme. You have more than 12 crore toilets, 12 crore toilets that were built under the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and more than 4,700 cities are completely ODF, open defecation free. Then you have inflation, which today retail inflation is 3.16%, vegetable inflation minus 11%, food inflation just 1.78%. Then let's look at jobs. In the last 11 years, this is RBI. RBI saying that we added 17.9 crore jobs vis-a-vis the Congress, which added only 2.9 crore jobs from 2004 to 2014. In the last 10 or 11 odd years, the job growth has been 36% plus. Then let me tell you one more thing. The most important thing is this. Today,
you have
we
to,
have
you are,
1.6
ma'am,
lakh startups.
what about
Can I
Mrs.?
finish in 20 seconds?
Okay, please do. Please do. 20
Yeah.
seconds more.
Today we have 1.6 lakh startups, which make India the world's third largest startup ecosystem. We have over 118 unicorns. But Rajdeep, I'm so very proud. We've overtaken Japan to become the world's fourth largest economy. In just 11 years, we added $2 trillion to the Indian growth story, whereas our first $1 trillion came in 60 years. And imagine in 11 years, we've added $2 trillion, which means in the last 11 years, the GDP has grown by 110%. And for those who say, oh, you know, but our per capita GDP is very less. Last point. Last point.
Okay.
Those
You
who
give
say,
me the miss now.
last point. Yes, I will give you the miss. Give me a 30 seconds. It's a sensible debate. The last point is this. For everybody out there, you know, who are saying that per capita GDP to bahut kam hai. Look at per capita household wealth. India's per capita household wealth is more than $15,000. And as far as misses go, Narendra Modi is a leader born once in a millennium. You call me an Andhbhakt, I don't care. You call me a Modi Bhakt, you call me anything. But सिर्फ एक ही मिस है. आपके शो के द्वारा नरेंद्र मोदी जी के लिए एक मैसेज है. You know, not Rajdeep, but many people like Rajdeep. Many people like Ravish Kumar. Many people like Yogendra Yadav. Many people like Abhisar Sharma. Many people like, Arfa Khanum Sherwani. They say that Modi is a fascist. So Modi ji, freedom of speech नहीं है, freedom of expression नहीं है. लोग बोलते हैं पर 9 बजे राजदीप रोज आपके बारे में अनाप शनाप बोलते हैं. At least, you know, एक बार अपना fascist चेहरा भी दिखाइए. इन लोगों को,
Madam, first of all, ma'am, it's wrong to raise names of people who cannot defend themselves on this show. You are welcome to say what you want about me. I don't think I've ever called Mr. Modi a fascist on the show. Let's be very clear about that, but that's your choice to use those words. There are contentious issues like you've raised. We will cross Japan only next year. The truth of the matter also is we are a very large-sized economy. Yes, we've done well, but we can compare GDP in the Congress years and the BJP-ruled years, UPA versus NDA. But Shama Mohammed, you give us your hits and misses very quickly.
No, Rajdeep, I'm not going to give it to you quickly. You've given her a lot of time, and I need my time too. So I can't be treated like a second-grade citizen in this country just because we are not in power.
Please go ahead,
I don't want to hear that. Okay.
The more time you waste on that, please don't waste time. Give us your hits and misses.
I want to reply to Rajat. He said, leader, he's a leader who we look up to. All right. A leader is somebody who we look up to. Rajat, I was saddened, shocked, and even my friends abroad, when the Prime Minister of India in the 2024 election rally said, Congress party Mangal Sutra leke Cheen ke Musalmano ko denge. Congress party behas Cheen ke Musalmano ko lenge. Is this what a Prime Minister of a country has to speak when he has won 2 times with a majority? It hurts me, let me tell you. I am also a citizen of this country. The other very important thing, let's also not forget, this is the Prime Minister who accused Manmohan Singh and Hamid Ansari in 2017 before the Gujarat election of conspiring, of treason, because they conspired with Pakistan for him to defeat him in the Gujarat election. Does anybody in the history of India done something like this, Rajat? You must answer to it. It is the first PM in the history of India because the Congress is always accused of being with Pakistan. The first Prime Minister in the history of India was invited a Pakistani Prime Minister for his swearing in 2014. First Prime Minister in the history of India has invited ISI on the soil of India. ISI is a terrorist organization, according to me, to investigate the Pathankot attack, which the ISI did. So let's understand where we stand. Now, let me get into figures. Now, Sanju Verma has gone on with data after data. We do not know who verifies this data. The last NCRB data came out in 2022. I want to know why I don't have a 2024 data, why I don't have a 2023 data. Data has been an issue. In the time of the Congress party, we were very transparent. Now let's look at the figure of 80 crore people get free food. From last year onwards, they started that. At that time itself, they were saying that we are doing very well. So out of 140...
Ma'am, 1 minute. You'll get equal time. I'm monitoring her time. Ma'am, Shama Mohammed, in 30 seconds, I'm going to come to you for a miss. Just a minute, ma'am. Just a
This
minute.
is not right, Rajdeep. My flow is
Yeah,
gone.
you please
One,
tell
we
Shama
are
Mohammed.
100
Shama
so
Mohammed, you
one-
focus and tell me what are the hits. You've told me
That's
the
what
misses.
no,
Tell me
why
the
should
hits.
I tell? I'm talking about their problems. No, 80 crore people are given food out of 140 crore free food, and we are 105 out of 127 countries in the hunger index. All right. Then she talks about GDP. Let me tell you about manufacturing. India's manufacturing share to GDP during the Congress time was gone up by 16.7%, whereas manufacturing share to GDP has in the 11 years gone up by only 13%. FDI, FDI is at rock bottom. It's gone down to in this year to 1.18 billion. 2022 to 23 was 28 billion, and last year 23 to 24 was 10.6 billion. So FDI
Madam,
investors are
I'm
going
asking
out.
you now one last time. Do you have a hit to give me? Do you have a hit? Is there nothing good
Hit
that you've seen in this government?
No,
30
I'm
seconds.
telling you. No. Why should there is nothing good about this government, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. There is nothing good. Let me tell you. Also, promises in 2022, 5 trillion economy. No. In 2022, we'll have 100 smart cities. No. In 2022, income of the
This
farmers will
government
be
is
doubled.
adding
No.
roads much
So
faster
nothing.
than the
No.
Congress governments did. Will
No,
you
let
give
me-
them
let
no
me-
credit?
No.
No,
So
will
I'm
you
sorry,
give them no credit?
I don't give them any credit because there's been so much of polarization also about Operation Sindoor, again, which hurt me. They have sent members of parliament abroad to talk. We all stood with the Prime Minister, whether it's Muslim, Hindu, Sikh, we are Indians first. But what does Amit Shah go and tell in West Bengal? That Mamta Banerjee is against Operation Sindoor because she wants to make her Muslim vote bank happy. That says, I'm against Operation Sindoor. So who will believe the Prime Minister of India when he sends these people?
Okay, you made
They
your
also
point, ma'am.
catch this in the news.
I have equal. No. Shama Mohammed,
you
you've
have
got
given
equal.
much
No,
more
ma'am.
time.
Please
I
put her
also
fader
want to
down.
tell
You
you
had
some more
equal.
figures.
You had equal time as Sanju Verma. I will not allow you more time. Sorry. Rajat Sethi, you heard from Shama Mohammed and even Yogendra Yadav questioning in a way. They claim that the Prime Minister, effectively, Yogendra Yadav virtually called him a liar, saying that even in the speech to the nation, he doesn't tell the nation the truth. How do you respond to this? This is a charge which a lot of critics make against the Prime Minister, that there is optics takeover from reality. What will you tell them? That there is an attempt almost to lie, use propaganda to promote achievements.
Well, again, I mean, see, calling your prime minister as a liar, either you have facts at hand, or you are privy to the conference call, or you're a member of that conference call that was happening between the two DGMOs. Then perhaps you can claim that. Otherwise, reaching to a conclusion where you are saying that the prime minister is lying is a bit of a stretch. You should refrain. And I think making personal attacks doesn't yield benefits to the either side. And therefore, we should refrain and question. You can, of course, question his Operation Sindoor handling. You can question his diplomatic handling. Do that. But calling your prime minister as a liar without having the facts. I mean, if you're able to conjure up the facts, good. Come on the debates and do that. I'll leave
No,
it here.
for example, let me give a more. The government of India said, for example, for the longest time that about 4.5, just over 4 lakh people had died during COVID. Now we are told the number is as much as 21 lakhs. The WHO puts the figure at 40 lakhs. Is the government, the NDA government, sometimes tagged as the no data available government? The government needs to be much more authentic with data.
Well, see, Rajdeep, we can go out ad nauseum on this debate, whether classification of deaths that happened, did it happen in the perfect way? Is WHO, what kind of a data and what kind of a methodology post facto did WHO have? I mean, I would rather go out and even question that. Why should we treat that WHO has said that is gospel truth and what the government is saying is patently untrue? I mean, I need to have more data in order to arrive at that conclusion. I don't have that data.
The
I haven't
government
gone in
doesn't
and
tell us,
interviewed.
Rajat Sethi, the government, for example, doesn't tell us where the Prime Minister's cares fund
No,
money has
Rajdeep,
gone. Is this a
even
non-transparent
no, no.
government? While it's a strong government, it's also
I'll still go on the
non-transparent.
COVID deaths for a fairly long time. How the deaths and births are recorded in our country didn't have separate columns for COVID in the very first place. There were technical issues. Now, do you want to do a separate survey just to arrive at a number? Is that what the government's job is? Clearly not. And it was established that,
Do you believe this is a transparent government? Do you believe the government is transparent?
I mean, I personally feel that the census number, for instance, should have come out sooner. And I believe if that would have yielded certain greater amount of transparency, yes. And there were
Okay.
certain procedural delays which happened due to a number of reasons. Also, Shamaji, she said, and this has been going on, and I need to buzz this, like 80 crore people are being fed with food, therefore 80 crore people are poor. How do you arrive at these distorted logic and conclusions? I mean, before this, during the UPA era, we all remember that these granaries which were filled and were used to get rotten each time with mice infested food lying there without being distributed. Today, if you distribute that between Indians, it doesn't automatically classify 80 crore people as poor. And I think
Okay.
this is
Point.
where
Quote it.
World Bank, if
Can I
you
come
quote
in?
WHO,
No,
you
you
ought to
cannot come
quote
in,
World
ma'am.
Bank.
No, but you didn't give
Even
me
No,
an
World
but
Bank.
this is not a crosstalk program. The sooner you all realize that you're on a different kind of channel, no crosstalk. But Rajat Sethi makes a good point, which I want Yogendra Yadav to respond, because many believe one of the achievements, and look at the advertisements today, Mr. Yogendra Yadav, is the welfare schemes of the government. Narendra Modi has scaled up every welfare scheme using digital technology, using direct benefit transfer. Rajiv Gandhi's time, it was said out of 1 rupee, 15 paise only reach the real beneficiaries. Modi's government claims they've done much better on that score with large scaled up welfare projects.
Rajdeep, when you have 11 years of a government, there are no doubt certain achievements. I personally, in my own impression, the ration distribution done by under Modi government has been quite effective. I regret the fact that it was confined only to 80 crore people. It should have been 93 if Modi government had allowed the census to take place, but I would say that's good. But I think Rajat Sethi made a very important point. Accusing the Prime Minister of speaking lies is a very serious thing, I absolutely admit. And it is very embarrassing to say that my own Prime Minister lies. And I must concede, I was not party to the conversation between DGMs of India and Pakistan, but I am a citizen of this country. When my Prime Minister tells me in an address to the nation that Pakistan has vowed not to repeat and not to do any adventurous military activity and not to engage in any cross-border terrorism, and 3 days later Pakistan does exactly that, then as a citizen I am entitled to asking my Prime Minister, sir, who had made this promise to you? Was it an oral talk between two military officers and you took such a major decision based on that hearsay? Or is there some promise that I as a citizen of this country want to know? Okay. Either the Prime Minister deserves a Bharat Ratna for having achieved what no Prime Minister could do for last 20 years, or he's speaking a lie. Wasn't this the Prime Minister who told me Cheen ke border se na koi ghusa hai, na koi aaya hai? Was that not a lie? Was demonetization not a lie? And about the COVID numbers, Rajat Sethi is probably not informed. He's probably not seen the newspapers in the last 3-4 days. The numbers are not from WHO. The numbers are from Government of India's report.
That's the 21 lakh, the new revised numbers.
Of deaths and births.
Can I come in?
Yes,
no,
and these are Government of India's official figures. Please do not distract. And since Sanjuji was very keen that I should call Mr. Modi fascist, which I don't, because I think I like to analyze my own problems in my own terms. What I say, Sanjuji, is this. Please find if I've called him fascist. You can do your own research. But what I say is this. Mr. Narendra Modi has diminished Indian nationalism. Externally, he has reduced the stature of India. And if you needed any one instance, Operation Sindoor
put a voice down.
not one big country stood with us. And internally, he has damaged the unity of this country. This is the greatest damage to Indian nationalism. Now you can shout.
Let me take that to Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, I'm going to play some visuals at the moment of Manipur, a state where we've seen ethnic violence erupting in May 2023. More than 200 people have died. The violence continues. The Prime Minister doesn't go there. He's not gone there once. He travels the world, travels India, but not Manipur. Is part of the problem, if I look at it from a critical point of view, that the Prime Minister only wants good news. He never shares bad news. The glass is always half full. It may be his strength. But what about the glass half empty? How do you respond, particularly as Yogendra Yadav seemed to suggest? He claims the country is more internally divided than ever before. Your response, ma'am.
Rajdeep, Yogendra Yadav gave a long speech. You did not interject him even once. The Congress spoke, you did not interject. I first want to know, will I be allowed to make my point without you interjecting me? I asked this very humbly
I
of
am
you.
not interjecting in you.
Okay.
In fact,
Since
Shama
you've
Mohammed
chosen to-
complained I was interjecting. Please go ahead.
Okay. Now let me make one thing very clear to you. योगेंद्र यादव के जो सर्टिफिकेट है प्रधानमंत्री मोदी के लिए, you know, Yogendra Yadav can keep those certificates to himself, because I'm reminded of a saying by Tennessee Williams: the only thing worse than a liar is a liar who is also a hypocrite. Yogendra Yadav is both a liar and a hypocrite. Yogendra Yadav जैसे लोगों की दुकान 2014 के बाद बंद हो चुकी है. These people are rattled. इसलिए टीवी डिबेट पर आकर as paid panelists they have the audacity to undermine the credibility of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Yogendra Yadav said BJP Haryana haregi. Yogendra Yadav had egg on his face. Yogendra Yadav said BJP Maharashtra haregi. We had a strike rate of 89% thanks to Narendra Modi's charisma. Yogendra Yadav had a nice big fat omelette on his face. Yogendra Yadav said BJP kabhi Delhi jeetegi nahi. We won Delhi after 27 years. And the likes of Yogendra Yadav, who is a has-been. I repeat,
Can we avoid the personalization? Ma'am, I asked you a question.
Yes,
I didn't ask you about,
finish.
you don't have to
Now let
attack
me come in.
Yogendra Yadav. You have to answer my question. Do you believe that the Prime Minister also needs to share sometimes
I'm
the
answering.
not so good? Should he go to a Manipur, for example, and try and provide a healing touch?
I will answer now. Please let me finish. You
Please.
expect the national spokesperson of the BJP to be on your debate, and you expect me not to counter the charges by a has-been like Yogendra Yadav, who calls the Prime Minister a liar? Are you joking, Rajdeep Sardesai? And let me tell you, Manipur Pradhan Mantri jayenge. But first and foremost, your wife Sagarika Ghosh is a TMC MP. Tell me, do you support how Hindus were butchered in Murshidabad? Do you support how Hindus
When
were
I
butchered
come on
in
the
Rajasthan?
program,
Do you support
Madam,
how Hindu Dalit women were banned in
ma'am,
Sandesh
these are, you see,
Do you
again,
support
the
what
problem.
happened in
I ask you
Sandesh
questions, you divert the debate. I am
Now let
asking
me
you
come
straight.
in.
No,
Yes.
you must answer my question. Don't, let's not personalize. We are having an intelligent
So let me
conversation. The
finish.
Prime Minister's strengths and weaknesses. Tell me what you think again. How do you want to specifically respond? Yogendra Yadav said, Prime Minister has weakened India internationally and nationally. Respond
I
to that.
will speak now, don't repeat. Please
I
don't
won't.
repeat, and please put a ticker down. That your wife Sagarika Ghosh is a Rajya Sabha member of Parliament, you are suffering from conflict of interest. वो ticker में
Okay.
डालो नीचे. Ticker में
Madam,
डालो नीचे.
I have no problem. It's a public
Now let me
knowledge.
say.
This is not a debate about the TMC, it's about the PM, but if you don't want to answer it, that's your problem.
Yes. Now my final point is this. This is what I want your audience to know, Rajdeep Sardesai. Today, agriculture budget has soared 5 times. Under Pradhan Mantri Krishi Bima Yojana, 35 crore insurance applications regarding crop insurance have been processed. Today, 3.7 lakh crore has been given to farmers, to 11 crore farmers. Today, 25 crore soil health cards have been issued. Today, more than 1.75 lakh crore has been distributed via PM Fasal Bima Yojana. Today, the loan limit under Kishan Credit Scheme has been hiked from 3 lakh to 5 lakh.
You have 20 more seconds. You have 20 more seconds.
My final point, in the last 11 years, from United Kingdom to Latin America, to South Africa, to Brazil, to Argentina, to Australia, either the incumbent leader changed or the incumbent party. Despite Rajdeep Sardesai's, false agenda at 9 p.m., Prime Minister Narendra Modi became the only leader in 62 years to become Prime Minister for the 3rd time in a row. And
Good point. That's a good point on which your 20 seconds is up. Your 20 seconds is up. And Shama Mohammed, that's a point on which I want you to come in and conclude the debate. You can argue about the Prime Minister, criticize him. The fact is he's India's first Prime Minister in 62 years to win 3 elections. Even since 2024, the BJP won Haryana, they won Maharashtra, they won Delhi. The Congress politically seems much weaker. Clearly, the people of the country seem to endorse Mr. Modi's leadership. Will you accept that when you came on the program and said you have nothing positive to offer, that this government has done nothing positive?
No, I don't agree.
Isn't that part of the problem, that the Congress is not seeing the writing on the wall?
See, when you have CBI, when you have ED, when you have the NIA, when you have the RBI, when you have everything, the media, not you, but many, under your control, the question is always asked now to the opposition. When we were in government before 2014, it was always asked to us. One very important thing in democracy, which is not there right now, is accountability. Rail accidents, before the rail minister used to resign. If corruption charges, the minister used to resign during our time, and we would ask for a CBI probe. So in democracy, there is no accountability. Very important point today. Gas, international oil price right now is $65 a barrel. We are paying 103. In Mumbai, it's 103 for petrol, and diesel is around 90, and gas is around 1,000. So what is happening? Where is this money going? Then the other important thing is rapists. It comes to women. Rapists are released and they're used for election campaigning. Gujarat 2021 elections, where the rapists were released and they were last year's election where they were.
If all is so, if all, no, 1 minute, 30 seconds. If all, no, ma'am, if all is so wrong, why is this government continuing to win? Why is Mr. Modi's popularity still so high? It can't only be on ED and CBI.
Yes, Rajdeep, because there is complete control. This is horrific. What we see, even Manipur, when it came to cases of women, the Prime Minister of India is always silent when any rape happens against women and a member of their parliament or MLA is involved. And last but not the least, look at Pakistan right now. They're saying the foreign policy is excellent. IMF giving loan to Pakistan. The World Bank giving loan to Pakistan. They have spoken against the attack, but nobody has spoken against Pakistan. They're getting enough. China, Russia, which has given a loan of $2.5 billion to
Ma'am, your time is up.
Let me say an issue on the foreign policy.
Ma'am, your time is up. Your time is up, Shama Mohammed. I have given equal time. Please put her fader down. I have heard all the sides. You can say not fair. I have been more than fair. I have listened to all of you. At the end of the day, Yogendra Yadav and Rajat Sethi, I will give you 20 seconds each. Yes, Yogendra, you first. 20 seconds each. Quickly, Yogendra Yadav.
I just wanted to say to Sanjeev ji, I'm not all that important. This is about Modi ji. Using the show for this kind of a name calling only proves that you probably can't defend Modi ji. Said 4 things about the lies of the Prime Minister on ceasefire, on China, on demonetization, and on COVID. Please think of that. Please don't be so obsessed with me. I'm not all that important, Sanjeev ji.
I've heard you, Yogendra Yadav. Rajat Sethi, is this part of the problem? This debate reflects the polarization. It's so polarized that it eventually ends in name calling. Is that part of the problem even in the last 1 year?
Well, politics has always been this polarized. It's just that we do talk a lot about it on social media and otherwise, so it just sounds so voluminous. But nonetheless, you need to see that what Congress has to do today in order to counter an upsurge of BJP. With this way, with this approach, they haven't built so far an alternate model of governance. They have consistently failed on that communication to draw out a contrast with Prime Minister Modi's style of functioning and his style of governance. If you only crib and you do not come out with a positive agenda, how do you go out and compete with him? You cannot. And this is why the results will be repeatedly the same. Even on foreign policy, why does Rahul Gandhi not stand up and don the hat, perhaps what Bilawal Bhutto is trying to do? Go around the world, who stops you? Go around and discuss with people, present a positive outlook. This is what India needs from a responsible opposition. If you don't do that, Prime Minister is here to stay for another decade. And we will carry on with these discussions, debate after debate, with no end result.
Touche. We'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. Our aim was to try and be as objective as possible, listen to various points of view. That's what we try and do. Sanju Verma, Shama Mohammed, Yogendra Yadav, Rajat Sethi, I appreciate you joining me here on our News Today Talking Point.